Hi you guys, it's me Lauren. I'm back here tonight again with my dog, and I wanted to come and talk to you guys about how I figured out what surgeon I'm going to go with and why. So originally I had planned on having vertical gastric sleeve surgery here in the United States. I discussed it with my primary care physician several times, and the first road bump that I kind of stumbled upon was I had been a smoker since I was like 15 or 16. Not very seriously at that age, just trying to be a cool kid, not being cool at all. But I smoked until like now, basically, and I'm 30. And so I went on Chantix, which worked really well for me, and I would highly recommend it for other people who are trying to quit, who have a really hard time with it, actually. But so I needed to quit smoking to even speak with anyone in the weight and wellness program, which is what it's called here where I live in Maine. And no one would talk to me from that program before I quit smoking and had a zero nicotine like draw. It was like a blood test and everything. So I had to quit smoking for 30 days, do a blood test, and then they decided finally that they would talk to me. And so I was kind of turned off by that, actually. I felt like I should be able to get some information. I should be able to maybe get underway with a diet or something. I thought it was a little ridiculous for the program to say, hey, you can't even speak with anyone here unless you quit smoking first, because people smoke and it's not good for them, and they know that, and a lot of people don't want to be smokers, or they want to quit, and maybe they need a good incentive to quit, you know? Just talk to them about it. Don't just write them off like they won't do it. I did it. I've quit smoking now for like 5 months. Anyway, so at that time I was a little bit turned off by that program, and I thought, well, maybe I'll go to a program in another state. My insurance wouldn't cover it at all, and I have insurance through the Affordable Care Act. I'm self-employed, so that's what I do. And excuse the cars driving by, it's a little loud. The windows are open. Anyway, so I have health insurance through the Affordable Care Act, so I have kind of high deductibles. So the cost of the surgery here is around what it will also be for me to get it in Mexico. I'm just opting for Mexico at this point because I went and I looked up my surgeon. I couldn't find any real reviews. I found some reviews on the program in general, but not really on the surgeon. I couldn't really find any information about whether or not the surgeon specialized in bariatric surgery. I know that surgeons here in the US don't get board certified in bariatric surgery, but they may only work on bariatric patients or something like that. So I couldn't really find any information about that. And at the time, I kind of started watching all of these YouTube videos that all of these lovely people were making. And at first, I saw these videos with these people who were going to Tijuana, Mexico to have weight loss surgery. And I was like, oh my God, these people are crazy. Like, why would you let someone cut you open in Mexico? And then I started thinking about it, and I started thinking, well, that's ridiculous for me to think that. There are great surgeons everywhere. There are great surgeons here. There are great surgeons in Mexico, of course. I mean, a few individuals maybe ruin the reputation of the many, I'm sure. So anyway, I started to look into that, and I joined a Facebook support group for weight loss surgery in Tijuana, because it seemed like that was kind of where everyone had gone for weight loss surgery. So I started looking at this Facebook support group, and I noticed that there were tons of people on there who were saying that they were nurses, or they were this, or they were that. And it turns out a lot of those people are people who are working for surgeons down in Mexico who are just trying to drum up business, which kind of sucks because I'm sure a lot of people read their posts and think, oh my god, like, this is a great testimonial, when really it may just be someone who actually works for the surgeon. So you really need to be careful of that. And how I kind of became aware of that was through another Facebook weight loss surgery group. And I joined this group, and they seemed a lot more knowledgeable about weight loss surgery and Mexico and the system in Mexico and how it works, because surgeons in Mexico can be board certified in bariatric surgery, unlike in the US. And that wasn't something that I was aware of. I really didn't know before. And so once I found out, I decided to look up some surgeons that are actually board certified in bariatric surgery. So I did that, and that really narrowed my list down. I wanted to go to someone who I could read a lot of reviews about, someone who had a lot of testimonials from people who had come from the United States, someone who had an English-speaking staff, because unfortunately I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did, but I don't. And I wanted to feel comfortable where I was going, so it really narrowed my list down to pretty much just one surgeon, and that's who I'm going to. The surgeon that I'm going to has a really organized and cohesive staff. I feel like they're on the ball. They'll answer your questions. They'll let you know if they can't answer your questions too. And since I've signed up through them, they're even better. They're more in touch with me, more in contact, letting me know what they need from me. It's not like, ooh, you paid your deposit, now we're going to drop off the face of the earth. No, it's like, you paid your deposit, now you're going to be treated like a patient. And that's really cool. And I'm really glad that I made that decision. And it took a long road to get there too. I have been researching surgeons for the past couple of months at least. And sorry, I'm laughing at my dog. Anyway, I've been researching weight loss surgeons in Mexico for the past couple of months, and I really thought I was gonna go with this one surgeon until I found out that he's not certified in Mexico for bariatric surgery. That's not his specialization. He does have specializations in trauma, and he does have a specialization in general surgery, which is great because I'm sure you could still practice as a bariatric surgeon doing those things. But I'd rather have someone who has actually gone through the requirements. So that's where I'm at. Also, when I was looking up surgeons, I thought that it was really important to Google the specific surgeons' names and just see what comes up. There were a couple of doctors. Oh, bye, puppy. Anyway, there were a couple of doctors. Maybe I should move this way a little now. Okay. There were a couple of doctors who I noticed just had, maybe they had good reviews or whatever, and maybe people advocated for them on Facebook groups and posts. But if you look them up and if you YouTube their name and you see all these things about patients dying from complications, you probably don't want to go through them. So you should be really careful when doing your research. I mean, really do your research too. You can look up surgeons and whether or not they're certified in bariatric surgery in Mexico, what they are certified as surgeons for, stuff like that. Google, and don't just listen to people on Facebook because they're not all truthful. And honestly, I learned from this one weight loss surgery group that I was on Facebook that surgeons in Mexico can be board certified, but then the person who was running that whole page had a surgeon of her own that she was working for who is certified, but it made me really uncomfortable and not want to go through them because I feel like they're just trying to drum up business for themselves. And it seems really disingenuous to start a whole Facebook group dogging all of these other surgeons saying, ooh, don't go to them. They're not certified in bariatric surgery, or they're not board certified in bariatric surgery, so don't go to them. No, I'm not telling you to not go to anyone. I'm just saying do your research. Make sure you're not going to go to someone who's had a lot of complications. Make sure that you're going to do what's right for you. And just remember that if the price is like $500 or $1,000, or in my case, like $2,700 difference, like your life is worth it. Your life is worth the $2,700. Like, don't be afraid of that. Start a GoFundMe. I'm trying to. It's not working out very well. Sell some stuff on eBay. I'm doing that too. Your life is not worth the like difference of $2,700 or something though. Like, just let your loved ones know and they'll be like, we'll give you the money if that's the difference. And if it means, you know, you living or dying, or you living with complications, because you don't want that. No one wants that. That's like the scariest thing of all. Anyway, so I'll let you guys know who my surgeon is, I guess. I don't really want to advertise for anyone. Like, it's not my prerogative at all. But I'm going to go through Ariel Ortiz in Tijuana, Mexico, through the Obesity Control Center. I just found that there were so many reviews, so many positive reviews. I even heard from this one woman on a Facebook group who did have like kind of a minor complication. It wasn't, I wouldn't really call it a complication, excuse me. But like it was something that they fixed right away. They do the stapling, and then after they do the stapling, they do sew the like seam or whatever shut. So they're taking extra precautions. And for me, I was just like, I need to go to someone who I feel comfortable with. And I like YouTubed him too, obviously. And I saw that he was on like, I think it's called Good Morning San Diego or something like that. And I think there's also a CNN clip. I know that there's an Oprah clip that he's in, but on these other clips, he's advocating for an international standard in medicine, which I think is really cool. And I think we do need that. And so I just feel comfortable going through them. And that's why. So, yeah. I guess that's it. I don't want to forget anything, and I don't have like a script in front of me or anything. But yeah, I guess you know what? One other thing I do want to talk about is the fact that in the United States, another reason that I decided to not have surgery here in the US is because I don't want to wait 6 months to have to go on a diet. Like, I have been dieting my whole life off and on, like so many of you have, I'm sure. And I'm fed up with that. I just want to get on with things. I want to move on. And I want to have children. I don't have children. And I know you like can't have them for like a year after the surgery. You don't want to be like malnourished or have your baby malnourished or anything like that. But I just want to be able to like go and live my life. I don't want to wait another 6 months. So that was like another factor in why once I started seeing all these videos and all of these positive reviews and positive things about going to Mexico, that was something that really like played into that. And like our insurance companies are so ridiculous. Like most people who are considering weight loss surgery have been overweight for such a long time that it's literally like their last option. And obviously it will save insurance companies so much money in the long run. Like, I don't even understand. Oh my God, it could be such a long tangent. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I just don't understand. Anyway, I hope that you all have a great night and take care, and it was nice talking to you. Bye!